Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at the army of Yaldabaoth, the Demon Emperor, and where it even originates from. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's take a look at the topic at hand. In the trailer for the latest Overlord movie, set in the Holy Kingdom, and adapting volumes 12 and 13, we not only see Demiurge in his role as the Demon Emperor Yaldabaoth, who after being driven off from Rhea's ties by Momon the Adventurer, now stands before a wall at the border of the Holy Kingdom, but also the army that stands behind him. And that is precisely what we will focus on today. Where did Demiurge get his army from, and from which troops it was even created, and what additional forces can be drawn upon for reinforcement. But unlike in my last video about Yaldabaoth and what he is actually doing, this video will contain spoilers, simply because the trailer doesn't provide much more information I can talk about, other than the army is there and stands behind him. And with that said, we are already at the first point I want to make. While Demiurge summoned the last troops he led into battle through his evil lords, here Demiurge has not assembled a demonic military force, but rather a force consisting of heteromorphs and demi-humans. These beings come from the Hills of Rebellion. The territory begins near the wall of the Holy Kingdom and ends somewhere near the Theocracy of Slain. But again, the exact extent and location of the region is thus far unknown. And the political situation within the hills is complex, and the land is fractured, to put it mildly. The hills are divided between hundreds of different tribes of demi-humans and heteromorphs, spider creatures, insect warriors, ape-like beastmen, lamias, which are snake-like humans, goat people, and many other. But these tribes, however, were until recently constantly at war and conflict with one another, forming different constellations of alliances and engaging in constant warfare. Some larger tribes managed to gain a certain level of recognition, temporarily subjugating neighboring villages through their own strength, but hostilities were ever present, and no single tribe could ever dominate all of the others. And this state of war only ended with the appearance of Demiurge, as he and his demons systematically conquered the region, organizing the warriors of the tribes into a unified and organized military, and the various leaders were either eliminated or enticed to the promise of rich rewards, honor and recognition in battle, or the opportunity to mate with powerful beings by joining Demiurge's or rather Yaldabaoth's side. But kidnapping of kings and queens was also not an uncommon or unheard of way of making entire tribes follow him. And it's important to note that Demiurge ruled with great repression, meaning even the slightest dissent, insolence, or failure to immediately follow orders often resulted in people being punished, and for example, being at least skinned alive a bit. Additionally, Demiurge exterminated all those tribes that refused to submit and be controlled by him, meaning that he completely eradicated them entirely and handed over the liberated land to others. Also, various test subjects were involuntarily introduced for various medical experiments, as Demiurge still sought to find out how one can have children across species boundaries, specifically between a heteromorph and a human woman. In the world of Overlord, this is normally not possible, or it is only achievable by the Dragon Lords of old, who actually managed to impregnate human women. Anyhow, through his conquest and various strategies and alliances, Demiurge or rather Yaldabaoth himself was perceived quite differently, because some followed him voluntarily, mainly due to the prospect of loot, but generally, he is still seen as more of a tyrant, dictator and oppressor, rather than a leader one is willingly following. And the pacification of the Hills of Rebellion is, to reveal a bit more of the story, also part of the overall world conquest strategy, because now that the Sorcerer Kingdom has been established as a political entity, now that Ainz-Ul-Gown has to worry about his political image as a king, and what other nations might think of his own nation, their open atrocities would not only have political consequences, but also might jeopardize Ainz-Ul-Gown's Utopia plan, because people would fear him again too much, and instead of joining his reign, they would flee in sheer terror, as they did after the conquest of Iran-Tel. So from Nezuric's perspective, it's a win-win situation, as Demiurge, in his role as Yaldabaoth, eliminates problematic demi-human and heteromorph tribes, and suppresses the rest, because then Ainz appears as even more benevolent compared to Yaldabaoth the Demon Emperor, despite being undead. And once everything is over, and Ainz-Ul-Gown is free to annex the region into his own realm, he wouldn't have to commit any atrocities because they all have been committed. Furthermore, Demiurge still has the ability to, and will actually summon and command demons to aid his army in crucial moments. In other words, while the army is mostly made up of demi-humans and heteromorphs, occasionally they will receive support from summoned demons. And Demiurge also emphasized that demons at the very best have only a rudimentary knowledge of what is expected of them. Therefore, they also require clear and unambiguous orders in order to not overreact. And the theme of lesser demons being harder to control is also constantly present in Overlord, which I'm sure will be important later, if not in the Holy Kingdom arc. Additionally, the leadership of the army and coordination on individual fronts and cities is also left to some demons at the very top. So in other words, while local tribal leaders have some power, demons, even though they don't constitute the majority of the army, are in actuality the ones who will ultimately be calling the shots. And lastly, I want to highlight a rather special force, namely the Pleiades battlemates themselves, who, in their role as magical mates, will fight alongside Demiurge, or rather Yaldabaoth, assisting him and presenting themselves as a tempting magical target, a prize worthy of a king. So therefore, they will become crucial in the later parts of the story, both for Yaldabaoth's army and Ainz-Ul-Gown's plans at the Holy Kingdom's side. And while apart from the Pleiades, the army might initially seem like Demiurge gathered everything that can bite and then threatened it into becoming his soldier, and that he will be letting them simply loose, and then have a horde of beasts at his command, the army is in fact drilled, disciplined, and capable of executing complex strategies. It is not a wild horde that charges in blindly. Rather, it includes artillery, ranged units, and clever strategies and tactics designed to exploit the weaknesses of the Holy Kingdom and of humans in general, so it is a very competent force. And with that said, now it's your turn. Do you want to add something to the video, or just state your opinion about Demiurge and his army? Then please let me know down in the comment section. And while you type, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, ASK, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Ferashivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia Viffy Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Mervek, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.